My experience as a Muslim Hijabi woman at Turning Point USA Amfest 2025. Part 1. I am just staring at the white notes page, thinking of a way to start my story. Where do I even begin? As a Muslim Hijabi woman who grew up in Russia, I went to a Turning Point USA Amfest 2025 right after its founder Charlie Kirk was assassinated. What the hell was I thinking? First off, I got my ticket before this tragic event took place. And yes, it was tragic. I don't agree with, nor do I care for, the portion of the left that felt indifferent or even celebrated his death. It reminds me of the conservatives in Russia who felt indifferent, dismissive, even celebratory when Navalny was killed. And yes, these two events are comparable, because in every society there is always this dynamic, a majority and minority. Navalny was the minority in Russia, a liberal. Charlie was the minority here, a conservative. The difference every 8 years, the vibe changes in the US, while in Russia it remained consistent. This brings to my main point why I went to Amfest 2025. In 2 years, I'll get to vote in presidential elections for the first time in my life and in the life of family, and I needed to know who are conservatives through my eyes, the eyes of a Muslim girl who grew up in Russia. I'd like to offer a cultural explanation that matters. I'm not Russian. Russia is an ethno-state, just like France, Somalia, etc. If, say, I grew up in Somalia, you would have no problem understanding me if I told you, I am from Somalia, but I'm not Somalian. I'm ABC. Why? Well, because of my white skin, but also because you have a certain image in your head when you hear Somalian, and I don't fit the picture. It's the same with Russia. Yes, I lived there my whole life, but I'm Avar, an indigenous peoples of the Caucasus colonized by Russia. So there you have it. So don't put me in a box when you hear I grew in Russia. If you're still with me, I'm going to explain what made me decide to go to Turning Point Amfest and what I thought of it. After October 7th, I, just like every other person, was following the news, praying for hostages get home safely, and that innocent Palestinians do not get dragged into a war they did not sign up for. Tucker Carlson got my attention around this time. Luckily, I didn't really know who he was, so I started watching his podcasts. And they were on point. Side note, it is one thing to speak on topics you agree with already, and it's a whole different thing when you are changing your opinion in real time. And I sensed, oh, this man is going through some shift, and he's letting us total strangers witness his growth. Then I learned he supported invasion in Iraq, and he regrets his decision. So, Tucker, you didn't give me a chance to dislike you. And side note, I'm glad I got on this journey late. Only now, really witnessing the American political landscape without years of inherited loyalties attached. Moving on, when Tucker interviewed an Orthodox nun, Agapia Stephanopoulos, I read horrible comments American Christians left about her facial hair and insinuating she might be trans. I couldn't believe my eyes. I grew up around Orthodox Christians. I visited monasteries. I talked to nuns, spent time with them. After all, I speak Russian. So to say I was offended for them would be an understatement. They don't pluck their eyebrows or shave. That's the whole point of being a nun. No concerns for the worldly things. So who are these American Christians? How dare they attack a nun when none of their women ever cover their heads in churches? And most importantly, how can they attack a nun to defend Israel? When I arrived in Phononix a few days before the conference, I was still feeling okay. I even had a good conversation with a cab driver. He asked what brought me here. I shared my reasons. And at the end of a short back and forth, he looked at me with hopeful eyes. You could make a big impact, he told me. I don't know his political affiliation, nor do I know what he meant by impact, but the conversation was genuine and left me in good spirits. However, the day before the early registration day and on the morning of early registration day, I had nonstop diarrhea. This detail is louder than I was scared to attend the conference. Now that you know what was my emotional state, you should also know this. People who grew up in Eastern Europe do not show emotions easily. So when I joined the line for the early event registration, despite being in a state of fear, despite praying, reciting Surah Al-Fatiha, despite telling myself, it's okay to leave at any point, I give you the permission, I was calm, friendly, made small talk with the family in front of me. In line, their son helped me find the QR code I needed to get in and showed no fear. Even if I wanted, it's hard because of my upbringing. So I was myself. Calmly got through the security, went to the VIP check-in because I bought a VIP ticket, had a friendly interaction with the volunteer. He said my name, gave me the badge, and wished me a good day. Side note, sometimes I feel like being VIP just means people care about you enough to say your name. Almost forgot to mention the security lady who searched my bag at the entrance to the convention center was visibly startled. She even checked my little bag twice. Not sure what that was about, but it rolled off my shoulders pretty fast. All in all, day one at the convention center was, well, easy. I did see a lot of people do double takes to look at me. They were very surprised to see me there. Guys, you and me both.